push you away, I push you away. But I'm here to stay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I am not really sorry that I am this way. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I am not really sorry that I am all the way over here. If I was there with you, I still wouldn't be there. I've got walls so very tall. I live in a castle, I live in a castle, I live in a castle. And if you try to climb on, I would just kick you down. Call me cold, call me a bitch, I ain't gonna switch, all because you don't like it. Call me a cunt, call me a cunt, I will call myself a cunt. And I feel bad about it, 'cause I know where I'm coming from, and I told you that from the jump, and you didn't listen. I'll prove it, 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 I always do. Especially to the likes of you. It's easier to get mad than admit that you're sad. Just admit that you're sad. That's what I've always done. That's why they're always running from me. It's easier to be pissed off. That's how society gets off. Making people sick, apparently. As you can see, told you I would give you. Like, I didn't even hint at that. Like, ever. Ever. Fucking ever. I have the opposite problem of most women. I have the opposite problem of most people in society. Most Americans. Most Westernites. People living in Western demoralization. I'm so honest that you run. I'm so honest. You don't know what to make of it. So it makes you sick. It makes you sick. It makes you sick. And then I'll get these dudes to think that they can fix that part of me that hates the world. The part of me that rejects love. The part of me that wants to be alone. They think they can fix that. All because they like some of the truth out of my mouth. They like some of the truth. Especially when I bitch about other women. Yeah, they love that shit. They love it when I trash my gender. As if I want to trash my gender. Are you out of your mind, dude? I'm not a pick-me, motherfucker. Excuse me. I need to get my water. Where's my big ass thing of water? Yeah, like, I think that there's such a fucking cash grab right now for, like, truth tellers. You know, people that claim that they have the truth about the world. You see this with religious people a lot. You also see this with, like, people that claim they know the truth about women. They claim they know the truth about Jews and who's really controlling this place. And, yeah, there's such a cash grab for that, dude. And while every one of those people has some smidgen of the truth, you know, some more than others, there are people that I like a lot, people that I'm a fan of. I've talked about them before. I don't feel like talking about them now, but there are certain people that I really like, certain conspiratorial people, certain political people that I really like, but I really don't pay that much attention to what they're doing. You know, it's like, okay, I like what you have to say. So what? You know, there are plenty of people whose music I like. I don't agree with them on all these other accounts, but I like their music. I like the stuff that they put out into the world. I relate to the way that they express themselves. But, you know, I think that we live in a world that is so bereft of self-reliance, especially in relation to, like, you know, our confidence. Because there's such a lack of that in this world, you know? There's such a lack of trust in the world that it seems like anybody that has any kind of truth, like, people just latch on to them. Like, oh God, you're speaking for the Lord, you know? That's how they treat them. That's how they treat them. I realize that I have the potential to be lumped in this category because I am very philosophical and I am very spiritual and I talk a lot about my religion, and y'all know I read the scripture to you. But, you know, there's a lot that I've learned about myself and about the world through my experiences, and I am so blessed to be able to have that, because there are so many people every day that I don't know if they're just not paying attention to their experience, or they're just not paying attention to their own feelings and their body and their reactions. It's like so many people's emotions have been completely hijacked. You know, talk about thought control. You know, people will say that, oh yeah, they don't think for themselves. They don't do anything for themselves. They definitely don't feel for themselves, because if their thoughts have been manipulated, and they think that things that are really fucked up are totally normal, like staring at your government tracking device every day, all day, that's a little weird, you know? Like looking around me all the time and just seeing everybody doing this. It's like, should I off myself? No, you shouldn't, Amy, because you're the only one not doing that. You know? I'm right to be disgusted by that. I'm right to be appalled that this is what people have subjected themselves to. And they didn't have to do that. They do it because it's popular, you know? Well, I'm not a populist. I'm an anti-populist. I think if it's popular, it's terrible. I think most people are very stupid, and they don't pay attention to their experience, which is what contributes to their stupidity. It contributes to them trusting people that are not trustworthy. People that have never been trustworthy. People that didn't do diddly squat to earn our trust, and yet we just blindly give it to them. Okay? But it's because we don't rely on ourselves. And if we don't rely on ourselves, if we don't rely on ourselves, then we definitely don't rely on other people the way that we should. You know, like as a community. Because if we don't have the trust within ourselves, how can we really trust anybody else? You know, it's tainted. Everything's tainted. And I think about this all the time, like, how am I tainting my relationships? Like, any relationship that I have, because of my relationship with me. You know? How is the way that I'm looking at things wrong? Like, the reason why I'm sick is because of my own shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. The world's sick. People are sick. Fucked up shit happens all the time. There's plenty of stuff to be sad about. At the same time, like, I have to be able to discern, you know, what their part is, what my part is, you know? That's why working the steps is a good idea. Because you can see, oh, there I am again, expecting too much. Or this person reminds me of this other person that reminds me of this other person that reminds me of this other person. This is a cycle, you know? A lot of people don't want to admit that they're in a cycle because then the responsibility would fall on them. They would rather just keep pointing the finger at all these other people that they think wronged them, you know? And that's really easy to do with the world because the world's fucked up. So we can look at the economy, we can look at, you know, the gas prices right now, we can look at, you know, everybody tearing at each other's throats, and we can just blame the president, or we can blame a political party, or we can blame a particular generation that didn't do enough. You know, it's like, is this getting us anywhere? Is anybody, like, any better off because they keep doing this? It's like a fucking sprinkler system. You know, like the sprinklers, like, you know, that's what people are doing. You like my impression of a sprinkler system? But yeah, like, Is this how we want to spend the rest of our lives? Just pointing the finger at people and getting mad about shit that's wrong? It's like, I can do that all day. I really can. But, you know, that is part of my personality. Like, I, you know, just want to figure everything out. I'm real inquisitive. I do a lot of these speeches. But, you know, I try to have fun with it. I feel like I do that because it's like, it's entertaining to me. I don't know, maybe this is entertaining for other people to just bitch on Twitter all day. But I think about this, like, quite often, because I will go into, you know, my little spiel about everything that I think is wrong with the world, but I've done it all my life, so that I know, okay, this is just part of my experience. This is just part of the way that I exist, apparently. And yeah, if anybody saw me, I mean, well, people do see me, like people at my work, like they see me talking to myself every day, all day. So they know that I'm nuts. But so what? I mean, I'm having this, like, private conversation with myself and the audience in my head. I'm not, like, spewing it on a social networking site, hoping that people retweet it or whatever. I mean, there is a part of me that wishes that this would resonate more with people, like what I do on here, and I wish that people would go, wow, yeah, that bitch is smart. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that, you know, like, but I don't expect it. I don't expect anybody to, like, validate my opinions, you know? Because as right as they are, it's like, so what? Like, people really don't want what's right. They really don't want what makes philosophical sense. Because that won't stroke their ego. You know? They would rather look at a political event and think that they know what happened. They would rather watch a speech from a president or a governor or whatever the fuck and point out all the ways that person's full of shit. You know? Because it's like, it makes us feel good about our petty ass existence when we can feel superior to others. Well, I definitely don't feel superior to others because I'm talking to myself endlessly in the dish pit. You know? I don't. At the same time, I do think it's a better alternative to talking endlessly to other people that don't give a shit, talking endlessly to the internet, and being validated by more fake-ass people, or people that just want to be mad, you know? Like, I don't want to be mad. I really don't. There's plenty of shit to be angry about, but I don't want to be angry. It's not enjoyable. Anger just reminds me of, like, all the narcissists that I've had to deal with in my life. And I know that word gets thrown around a little too loosely, but I study human behavior mainly to understand myself. So, like, anytime that somebody acts wrong, anytime that somebody, like, says or does something that's fucked up, I'm like, okay, like, how have you said or done something very similar to that, you know, recently? It typically hasn't been recently, but, you know, I've definitely behaved wrong in my life. And, you know, one of the reasons why I used to shoplift was because of the rush that it gave me, but it's like it allowed me to sort of step into this, like, alternate reality, you know? the alternate reality of my shadow self. Like, okay, I could be this total piece of shit. You know, I'll wear this piece of shit costume for the time being. And knowing that that's part of me, knowing that if I started drinking again, I'm sure that I would start shoplifting again and sleeping with random people that I meet at a bar or whatever, you know? Like, I know that darkness is still part of me. And I could give into it at any point, you know, if I feel like leaving virtue behind. It's very plausible. And sometimes tempting. But anyway. I forgot the point I was trying to make. Let's see how much time we have. I don't like to give myself too much time in the grocery store because then I'm just wandering around aimlessly, and I'm more likely to make bad decisions. Okay. Where's my cigarette at? Didn't I have a cigarette? Did I put it in here? It might have fallen out. I'll find like random toothpicks like on my floorboard. I'll find random toothpicks like if I'm like parked anywhere, like I'll find a toothpick like right next to my car. Oh, here's one right here. All the things about me that I wish I could get rid of. Maybe God has got a use for 'em. Maybe they're still there to teach me something. Maybe it's something that I really don't want to learn. Maybe it's something that makes me sick to think about. So I tell myself that it's wrong. There ain't nothing that I've ever learned that was fun. There ain't nothing that I ever learned that didn't suck to figure out. It didn't suck to think about. Think about it more. Until it made my brain sore. But then again, my brain is always sore. It's my brain's rapport. Ooh, I like that one. last chord with that. Okay. To make when I walked away from what society expects of me. People are always gonna be disappointed by something, especially if I'm good at setting boundaries. When I say no, when I walk away, you can take that personally. That's your prerogative. Pissing you off was never my objective, but I have to accept it. That when you're true to yourself, there aren't going to be a lot of people that like that. I'd rather piss you off than piss me off. I'd rather disappoint you than disappoint me. Trying to please you. Do you feel me, Vortex? Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Trying to please other people and do what they want is only going to let yourself down. I know there are exceptions to this. I know there's like little shit that we all have to do, you know, to get on in this world. I get that, but I'm talking about the big stuff, you know? Like if you know something about yourself and you're like, yeah, this probably isn't going to work out. And you're really honest with other people about that. And they still get mad about it. Fuck them, you know? Like, they choose to get mad about it. They choose to take it the way that they take it. And you can't choose how other people take it. It is what it is.